Throughout our everyday lives, we are constantly battered by tasks that must be completed in a specific set time, and at times, it is difficult to be able to accomplish these tasks in the required time frame. Therefore, it becomes a necessity to be able to learn how to complete tasks effectively in a short amount of time, while keeping up or even enhancing the quality of work that is being produced. This skill is needed in pretty much every walk of life, from school to an office job. Work productivity and efficiency are crucial for success. One major behavior that impedes productivity, unfortunately for many, is the act of procrastination. Avoiding procrastination is very difficult to do, and can come in many different forms, with each person possibly suffering from different forms of this counterproductive habit. There are 6 well-known types of procrastinators: the worrier, the perfectionist, the overdoer, the crisis maker, the dreamer, and the defier. Sometimes, these forms of procrastination can take place at different times for the same person, and sometimes they can even happen simultaneously. The first 3 forms of procrastination are attributed to some form of anxiety expressed by the person towards the task at hand. The last 3 forms of procrastination are attributed to emotions of boredom and frustration. These are the 6 main ways procrastination can take place in our work lives, and by what state of mind or emotions that they are typically caused by. There are many ways to go about tackling the issue of procrastination, and these different approaches can be applied to different situations. Some people decide to tackle the issue of procrastination with many cognitive behavioral therapy techniques, with one of the most famous among these techniques being the 5-minute rule. Essentially, this rule helps individuals start daunting tasks by allotting only 5 minutes to work on the task intently with complete focus. Since the individual would only be completing the task for a short, set amount of time, it is easier for the individual to start the task. Once 5 minutes have elapsed, you would ask yourself this question: do I want to stop completing the task, or do I want to continue? Usually, you would choose the latter choice, as it is easier to continue working on a task rather than switch tasks constantly. This technique is particularly useful for when you may feel amotivated toward completing a specific task, since during these situations, all you need is to gain some momentum in the completion of a task at hand to continue and enter a flow state, thereby allowing you to be more productive and make the process less painful. Another technique that has been adopted by many people, particularly in tasks that are tedious and strenuous, such as studying for a major test, is the Pomodoro Technique. This technique involves picking a task, setting a 25-minute timer to work intently on the task at hand, and taking a 5-minute break following the Pomodoro. Another habit that harms productivity is setting unnecessary long deadlines for a project that can be completed in a shorter amount of time. Parkinson's law conveys the concept that work expands to fill the time given to complete it. There are many methods that can be used to combat this common issue that harms productivity. One such method is time boxing, which is the practice of simply entering a block of time in your calendar in which you plan to work on a specific task. Rather than working on a task until it is completed, time boxing works by setting a fixed amount of time to work on a task. The benefits of this method is that it makes it easier to avoid procrastination by allowing you to set strict limits on the time spent working on a task, and can help organize multiple tasks that may be given in a day. In addition to these notable benefits, time boxing tends to help individuals lower the amount of time required to complete a task, which can cut down on any potential time that could have otherwise been wasted during the completion of a task. Sleep is an important factor that contributes to productivity that many fail to account for. Despite it being tempting to cut down on several hours of sleep in favor of catching up on work, this habit does more harm than good in the long term. There is growing evidence that sleeping adequately each night boosts productivity, among other crucial health functions. One study that investigated 4,188 U.S. workers found significantly reduced productivity and performance among sleep-deprived workers, along with workers that suffered from insomnia. This study also suggested that among the sleep-deprived worker participants, there was an estimated $1,967 loss in productivity per worker. Another study in 2007 highlights the fact that the main cause of sleep deprivation across the world is an excess of work. This cycle of an overloaded work schedule coupled with prolonged sleep deprivation causes a significant decrease in productivity, along with numerous other detriments towards health and well-being. Along with good sleep hygiene, diet and exercise also contribute to increased productivity. A diet rich in simple carbohydrates that are higher on the glycemic index can cause spikes in blood sugar, followed by a sharp decrease. This can cause bursts of energy followed by longer slumps, which is not only inefficient for productivity, but also carries a litany of detriments, including a higher risk of insulin resistance and diabetes. Aside from diet, exercise can also impact work productivity and performance as well. Exercise can keep glucose, blood, and oxygen levels high in the body as well as in the brain, which provides energy for the brain and allows it to function more efficiently. Both aerobic and anaerobic exercises can optimize work productivity by fortifying the brain. A review study involving 16 research studies found a strong link between resistance training with better mental health and vitality, which contribute to improved work productivity. With all this being said, it is safe to say that maximizing productivity involves the optimization of numerous aspects of your life. The application of methods such as the Pomodoro Technique and time boxing helps with skills such as organization and time management, and proper sleep, diet, and exercise contribute to improved physical and mental health.